The King and His Children. There was once an old king named King Keda. One day he called in his 3 sons, Mamadi, the eldest, Mambi, the second son, and Kalilu, the youngest. He said, "My dear children, I am very old. I felt sick this morning. I think I only have a few days to live. I love you and will give you your inheritance. It is 15 tons of gold. Each of you will get 5 tons each." In a large chest beside his bed were 3 boxes that held their inheritance equally divided into 3. He then died 2 days later. When the funeral was over, the 2 older brothers started to spend their inheritance. They bought herds of goats and cows, built big huts, and bought jewelry and fine clothes for their wives and mothers, and traveled all over the country and feasted with the finest food they could buy. They hosted parties to rival any grand parties in the land. One day, Mamadi's and Mambi's mothers visited Kalalu's mother and made fun of her, told her that she did not benefit from any of her son's inheritance. After they left, Kalalu's mother went to him to tell him what happened. She was angry and she cried, "You are an ungrateful son. You never give me gifts and throw parties for me like your 2 brothers. See how they live. I am disappointed in you." Then she burst into tears and left. Kalalu did not answer back. The following day, he started his journey. In the first village, he saw children who were maltreating a dog. The children were going to drown him in the river. "Leave him alone," cried Kalalu. "Why do you want to kill the dog, children?" he asked. "He ate the food for the king's son." They answered back. Kalalu took a handful of his gold and gave it to the children, saying, "Here, sell me the dog." The children, who did not expect this boon, grabbed the gold and went home. As he continued on with the next village, Kalalu was accompanied by the dog. But upon entering the next village, he saw little girls who were going to hang a cat. "Why are you hanging this cat, little ones?" he asked. "This cat drank the king's milk," answered the girls. Kalalu then got a handful of gold and bought the cat from the little girls. The girls took the gold and went home, and he set off to the next village with the dog and cat. In the next village, he saw a hunter who was going to kill a vulture. "My friend hunter, why do you want to kill this vulture?" The hunter replied, "This vulture devours the king's birds." So Kalilu then gave a handful of gold and bought the vulture from the hunter, who then went home. Kalilu then went on with his journey together with the dog, the cat, and the vulture, whose lives he saved. Soon they were in a deserted place where there was a cave. "Man," said the vulture, "this is my home. Come in and do not be afraid." As they went in, there was a golden perch, where the king of vulture met them with his subjects. "Great chief of vultures," cried the bird of prey, "this man saved my life. He deserves a reward," he said. "He deserves the ring." The vulture king then went to Kalalu and opened its enormous beak and said, "Man, under my tongue is a magic ring. Take it. I am giving this gift to you. Whenever you want something, say it out loud and the ring will grant you your wish. Do not lose this ring." "Thank you very much, Chief Vulture," said Kalalu. "I would like to return to my village immediately." He barely finished his sentence when he was at his home right away. His mother visited him the following day and began crying. "You ungrateful son, when are you going to treat me like your brothers treat their mothers?" Kalalu then went out of his hut and took his ring and said, "I would like to be a chief of a large village and have a palace as my home." A loud noise was heard, and his mother went out of the hut and saw a city and palace rise from the ground. "Dear mother," said Kalilu, "this is where we will live from now on." The woman could not believe her eyes. But Kalilu made a huge mistake the next day when he married a young woman from the village. He told his young wife of his magic ring, and while he was asleep, the young wife stole his magic ring and ran away. When Kalilu woke up, the palace and the huge village were gone. He was poor. The dog and the cat talked to each other and decided to look for the young wife and recover the ring for their master. They arrived at the village of the young wife and went to the hut where she was staying. The cat then told the dog, "Dog, stay by the door and be ready to run away." He then entered the hut and saw the young wife sitting near the hearth. The cat then approached and started to purr. "What a beautiful cat," said the young wife. She carried him and put him on her lap and started to pet him. The cat then jumped up and scratched her neck and frightened the young wife, who screamed. The ring fell from under her tongue. The cat then took it and jumped on the dog's back, who ran as fast as he could. They brought the ring back to Kalilu, who was overjoyed. Kalilu then wished the young wife gone, and since then he swore to never reveal his secret again, even if she was very nice to him.